What's going on, guys? Aaron here. Welcome to the video. So Bitcoin is pumping on the news that Trump and Bessent will talk with the Chinese officials to help calm down tariffs. So before I get into the charts and other news, this is the most important story. Scott Bessent and U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer will meet with their Chinese counterparts in Switzerland this week to discuss economic and trade matters. The meetings appear to be a major step towards Washington and Beijing beginning negotiations to potentially resolve an ongoing trade war ignited by Trump. And take a look at the price of Bitcoin. We saw in a matter of, honestly, a few hours. It was pretty remarkable. The price of Bitcoin went from $93,000 up to around $97,700. It went up around 4.5% in a few hours, which is pretty remarkable. Huge move today. A couple stories I want to talk about. Scaramucci believes that Trump is in support and wants this 1 million Bitcoin to go in the Bitcoin reserve. So he believes Trump is waiting in order to publicly launch this massive purchase of 1 million Bitcoin, which may be spread out over a few years, but he's waiting to launch this publicly. Not only would it create a massive frenzy and pump the price up a ton, but he wants it to be a bipartisan issue. He wants both sides of the aisle to be in agreement on this. Here, pretty interesting news. Scott Bessent says having a CBDC is a sign of weakness, not strength. And if you want to check out the actual video, you can check it out on my X account. But that's pretty interesting, right? This whole idea of CBDCs, what do they mean? Is it going to be a way of control? Is it going to be some sort of surveillance mechanism, right? So much has been talked about CBDCs over the last few years. And Scott Bessent saying, nope, having a CBDC is a sign of weakness, not strength. And another huge announcement today, Strike. So Jack Mallers, he owns Strike. He is also the CEO of 21, which is that conglomerate of Cantor Fitzgerald. We have SoftBank and Tether. So that's another big news that I've covered recently. Essentially a competitor to MicroStrategy, trying to acquire as much Bitcoin as possible. Well, he came out with a whole video talking about how they are going to offer and already have been offering Bitcoin-backed loans. And I commented here, I retweeted it. I said, Mashinsky ruined Bitcoin lending for me. I don't trust it. And jokingly, a few more years of therapy is required. And I think a lot of people agree. This tweet did pretty well. And he goes over the whole thing about how they will be offering it to U.S. individuals, businesses, individuals here. This is what it's going to look like. And now, I do think it's going to be a lot safer than Celsius. But myself, even Simon Dixon was a little bit skeptical as well, and he posted that on his X page, or Twitter, never know what to call it, as well. Jack Mallers responded and was like, your concerns are not valid. Everything you're concerned about is actually not something to be concerned about. So we'll see what happens. Right now, I'm not going to be doing this. I'm not going to be borrowing cash while depositing my Bitcoin with a centralized entity. Again, if you were around in 2021 and 2022, you know exactly why. A lot of us got severely burned by trusting a third party, a centralized third party, to take Bitcoin or crypto-backed loans. Now, it's true. Right here, Andrew on Twitter says, this is how wealthy people stay rich. They borrow against assets instead of selling them. The rich borrow against stocks. Now Bitcoiners can do the same thing. Game changer. And yes, Jack Mallers is saying 100, like 100% correct, right? And Andrew's not wrong here, right? There is a strategy of not selling your assets that appreciate and you take loans against it. It's what Elon Musk does. It's what Jeff Bezos does. It's what all the billionaires and even multimillionaires and even people that aren't millionaires do. You get a credit line or you take a loan against an asset like a house. So I'm not against the principle of it, but right now I'm just not super pumped about this at the moment. So today, the Fed is going to meet for the FOMC meeting, and they are expecting no change in the federal funds rate. But this is a chart of the market expectations, or the expectations for Fed funds rate going into January of next year. So the Fed fund rates should be going down. At least that's the expectation. But for the meeting today, they are expecting no change. So when the Fed lowers rates and injects liquidity, and mostly when there's an increase in global liquidity, right? Not just in the US, that's what a lot of people believe will be the impetus and the start of true altcoin season. And you're probably tired of hearing that term altcoin season because we were all promised that it was already going to happen this year, right? And this year has been an anomaly. Trump throwing in the whole tariff stuff has really shaken things up. But right here, this came out yesterday. China announces sweeping measures to ease policy in bid to shore up trade war hit economy. So China will cut the 7-day reverse repurchase rates from 10 basis points to 1.4% from 1.5%. So Jacob Canfield on Twitter says that this means China is injecting more liquidity into the system. More liquidity equals more risk on bullish for stocks and crypto. Let's take a look really quick at the markets. So again, Bitcoin had a nice little pump to $97,700 or so. Right now, as of this video, it's trading around $96,500. That can change dramatically depending on what happens in the news. Will the Fed do what they said they're going to do, which is essentially nothing? They're not going to change the rates. What will happen with negotiations with the US and China? All of these things can radically change the price of Bitcoin. Also, New Hampshire. So good old New Hampshire. Never been there. Shout out to New Hampshire. Is officially the first state to adopt a strategic Bitcoin reserve. The governor signed HB 302 into law, allowing the state to invest in Bitcoin. This is what I said. Way to not F it up like Arizona, New Hampshire. So the governor of Arizona vetoed the bill, which I think will prove to be a colossal error when Bitcoin continues to go up, even though the state is invested in things that actually are even more risky and weird than Bitcoin. I don't think Bitcoin's weird at all. But I guess that just shows how early we are, that states are still, even kind of conservative red states like Arizona, are still a little bit iffy on whether they should use Bitcoin or invest in Bitcoin, which I think is ridiculous. But eventually, every single state will be buying Bitcoin, especially once the official purchase of Bitcoin comes from the White House, whether it is 1 million Bitcoin over the course of 5 years, whatever their plan is, then states will really feel comfortable diving in on their own. And taking a look at some charts, we can see that Solana has been hovering in this range for a little bit, in this $145 range or so. Now, again, I still believe that altcoins will come back. It's just a matter of patience. It's just a matter of, do you have the stomach to hold on to these altcoins while the volatility happens? The volatility is the price that we have to pay for the insane gains. That's what I believe. We have XRP at $2.12. We've been hovering in this range for quite a while. We dipped below $2 a couple times, and then we are back up above $2. And taking a look at SUI, which has done incredibly well over the last couple weeks, actually. So I drew this range in of support and resistance many months ago, and I was saying that these were good opportunities, these were good ranges to be buying, and we blasted above that range. So buying at around that $2 range or so. Now we are at $3.34. SUI is another coin that I do believe will see new all-time highs. And taking a look at Axon DAO really quick. So I actually just got this in the mail today. I'm going to make a whole video about it. This is their Cure Ring. If I can open this with one hand, I will do so. This is the health tracking ring right here. So this is going to be similar to like other rings. You can see there are some, if it doesn't zoom on my face, there are some tracking things inside the ring. So you can put it on and then it can track biomarkers during the day and when you sleep. So I will be making more information on this. What's going on with Axon is pretty remarkable. Essentially, you can offer your medical data, which is saved and not going to be sold, but you can go ahead and essentially offer that data for medical research. And then you can be compensated in AXGT, their token. So right here, this is a range I drew a while ago. We haven't seen the breakout that I've been looking for yet, But I really believe that once the masses realize that, oh, wow, this is a decentralized science company, a DeSci company, that actually came out with oh my gosh, an actual product, right? It's not vaporware. It's not just like BS like a lot of other companies are out there, that this token will be insane. I mean, that's just what I believe, just because they actually came out with a real product. This is a real product. This is an actual ring that will be able to track your data, and then you can get paid in crypto if you want to. So I'll be making more content on this in the future, but this is one to be aware of as well, because I literally just got this in the mail today. So I will keep you guys posted on that. And also, if you want to grab some bonus deposits, you can do so using my link for BTCC. If you're a trader, they are excellent for trading. If you like to play with leverage, you can do so, but I only recommend leverage trading if you are a professional. So guys, that is it for the video. We are waiting to see what happens today with the FOMC meeting, what Jerome Powell decides to say or essentially doesn't say, which says a lot as well. And as always, guys, I do believe we will see higher prices. It's just a matter of being patient, stacking coins that you want for the future, and waiting and being patient. So hope you guys are doing well. Till next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.